रामाय रामभद्राय रामचंद्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः. Ayodhya Kand, chapter number 82, the march to the woods. We know that Bharatha has already refused the throne. He has already constructed the road between Ayodhya and River Ganga. We know that he has already passed 4 different tests that were put to him to see if he truly loves Rama or not, and he has succeeded every single time. And then Vasistha convened a royal assembly requesting the presence of Bharat, Shatrugna, Ayodhya Ch, Sumantra, and so on and so forth. And in this chapter, we are going to see the continuation of that particular meeting convened by sage Vasistha. Verse 1. Tam arya gana sampurnam bharata pragraham sabham tadarsha buddhi sampanna purna chandram nisham iva. Bharata, endowed with understanding and knowledge, saw that assembly enriched with a whole body of respectable men, looking like a night in the full moon duly enriched with well-known planets. Sage Valmiki had left us in a cliffhanger in the previous chapter, and in the beginning of this chapter, he calls Bharata as Buddhi Sampanna, the one who is endowed with knowledge. The one who is endowed with knowledge means the person who is capable of understanding knowledge, and the person who is capable of realizing knowledge as well. And the realization of knowledge is that Rama is the true proprietor. So in the very first verse, Sage Valmiki gives us the indication of how this is going to go. It is going to rule in Bharata's favor. It is going to rule in the favor of bhakti. It is going to rule in the favor of Rama. And the fact that Bharata and Rama are going to meet very soon, because the culmination of any yoga is surrendering to the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita 6.27, Lord Krishna says, Prashanta manasam hi enam yoginam sukham uttamam upayati shanta rajasam brahma bhutam akalmasham. The yogi whose mind is fixed on me verily attains the highest perfection of transcendental happiness. He is beyond the mode of passion. He realizes his qualitative identity with the Supreme, and thus he is freed from all reactions to past deeds. Of course, Bharata does not have any past deeds, but he has attained the highest perfection of transcendental happiness just because his mind is always fixed on Rama. And therefore he is beyond passion, he is beyond anything else, and he is perfectly happy. Why? Because he had the good sense, the buddhi, the knowledge to surrender to the Lord. So it's not just enough to read scriptures, we have to understand them and we need to apply them. We need to realize that knowledge. And Valmiki says that Bharata is such a person who has understood everything and who knows how to apply that knowledge of the scriptures to get himself closer to the Lord. Verse 2. Asanani yatha nyayam aryanam vishitam tada vastranga raga prabhaya dyotita sa sabhotama. When the seats were occupied by the honorable members according to their rank, that august assembly looked splendid with the brilliance of the apparels and the fragrance of unguents. Verse 3. Sa vidva jana sampurna sabha suruchira tadha adrishyata ganapaye purna chandra iva sharvari. The most splendid assembly, filled with learned people, looked brilliant like the night with the autumnal full moon. So the full moon or Purna Chandra is actually Bharata. And Bharata's radiance is mentioned over here. And by now, the holy sage has already cast his eye over the vast assembly that was seated as became their rank and station, dressed in rich robes, all eagerly looking forward to the coronation of Bharata. And Valmiki described that the place blazed as it were the radiance as a clear autumn sky at night inlaid with stars. Now he is calling everyone to order, and we will see what happens next in verse 4. Rajnya tu prakrite sarva samagrah prekshya dharmavit idam purohita vakyam bharatam mridu cha abravit. Beholding the entire body of ministers of the king, Vasistha, the knower of righteousness, addressed Bharata in a gentle voice. Valmiki calls sage Vasistha as Dharmavit, the one who knows righteousness. And yet, in the next couple of verses, we will see that Vasistha is going to coax Bharata into accepting the kingdom. So why does Valmiki call sage Vasistha as Dharmavit? Because Valmiki knows that Vasistha knows what Dharma truly is. And yet, why does sage Vasistha spend the next few verses trying to make Bharata accept the throne? Actually, this is the fifth test that Bharata undergoes. The first test was with Kaikeyi. The second was with Mother Kaushalya. The third was with the assembly. The fourth was Vasistha trying to wake up Bharata through music as if he were the king. And the fifth is Vasistha asking Bharata to accept the throne in front of this huge council. And we will see that this is not the end of Bharata's tests. He still has to face a couple from Sage Bharadwaj and from Guha. And we know that there are multiple tests that Bharata has to go through. But why? This is because Rama wants to prove one thing. In Bhagavad Gita 7.14, the Lord says, Daivish gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. This divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Ayodhya is a very holy place in that it is the birthplace of Lord Rama. And therefore it is extremely holy. And yet, since it's so opulent and so grand and so beautiful, one could be tempted to rule that country just for its opulence and not for the fact that it is the birthplace of Lord Ram and therefore a very holy place. So many temptations, so many tests come in the way of Bharata just so that we know that the material nature is very difficult to overcome. But Lord Rama gives the way out of it. And that is what? Surrender unto him, and those people can easily cross beyond it. He says that Mam evai prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. So now we get to this understanding that this is the reason why Valmiki has called sage Vasistha as Dharmavit. He is a knower of Dharma, but he's testing Bharata just so that he can prove this to the world that a true devotee of the Lord can cross all temptations. Verse 5. Tata Raja Dasaratha Svargata Dharmam Acharan Dhanadhanyavatim sfitam pradaya prithivim tava. O beloved Bharata, Dasaratha ruled over this kingdom well and wisely, and had been in consequence raised to the skies where he sits enthroned with the Devatas. His dying words invested you with the sovereignty of this broad realm, rich in wealth and corn. Verse 6. Rama tata satya dritha satam dharmam anusmaran na ajahat pitur adesham shashi jyotsnam iva udita. Rama, whose soul cleaves to the duty of fulfilling the commands of his sire, even as a rising moon does not abandon the moonlight, has abode by truth and walked in the steps of the wise. He departed for the woods, leaving the kingdom in your care. Verse 7. Pitra bhratra cha te datam rajyam nikhata kantakam tad bhunkshva mudita amatya kshipram eva abhishechya. Gratify the hearts of your subjects by accepting the crown and rule over this kingdom, safe and happy, so willingly bestowed upon you by your father and your brother. Verse 8. Uditya cha pratichya cha dakshinatya cha kevalaha kotya apara anta samudra ratnani abhiharantu te. Let me see your vassal princes from the east, the south, the west, the north, and the islands pour their tribute of gems and gold at your feet. So this is Vasistha's premise. Rama and Dasaratha are no longer there, and Dasaratha's last wish is that Bharata is supposed to be crowned the king of Ayodhya, and now let Bharata become the king, and Vasistha wants to see everyone accept Bharata as the king of Ayodhya. So these statements appear to be righteous, but in fact they are not. Therefore, look at how Bharata responds in verse 9. Tashrutva Bharatah Vakyam Shokena Abhiparipluta Jagama Manasa Ramam Dharmagnyo Dharma-kiṅkarī. But Bharata knew full well that a younger brother violated the traditions of kings if he took the crown while the elder was alive. Bharata would not be the first to tread that path of treason and infamy. So he transported himself in thought to Rama's feet and entreated him to come back. So what is Bharata's first reaction? Shokena abhiparipluta. He was filled with distress, filled with sadness. And through his mind, through the manasa, he went to Rama. Who is that Rama? Rama is Dharmagnyo, the one who knows righteousness. But why did Bharata go to that Dharmagnya Rama? For Dharma-kiṅkarī. Because Bharata was thirsting for justice. The statement spoken by Kaikeyi or by sage Vasistha or by the ministers and other ecclesiastical dignitaries, all of them sounded so right. And yet Bharata knew that they were wrong. That's why now Bharata is thirsting for justice. This is not the right thing. I have to get to my brother. I need to take shelter of Lord Ram. So he immediately thinks about Rama. He immediately falls at Rama's feet. And he mentally begs Rama to return. This is a very beautiful phrase that Valmiki has put in. That Bharata is Dharma-kiṅkarī. He's thirsting for dharma. He's yearning for it. And Rama is Dharmagnu, the one who knows Dharma. Why? Because he is the embodiment of Dharma. So, even through these words, Valmiki emphasizes that what Bharata was truly hankering after was Rama himself. That's why he immediately goes to Rama and entreats him to come back. And now we will see what he says in the general audience and how he says it. In verse 10. Sabashpa kalaya vacha kalahamsa svara yuva vilalapa sabha madhye jagarhe cha purohitam. That young Bharata, with the melodious voice of a swan, choked with tears, lamented in the assembly and reproached the family priest Vasistha. The Purohit is the royal priest. And how is Bharata? Bharata is Yuva. In that youth, people desire so many things, and yet the only thing that Bharata desired was to take the shelter of Lord Rama, which he has already done. And he's choked in tears. His voice is so smooth, like that of a bird, and he is lamenting. And right in the middle of the assembly, he reproaches sage Vasistha.